And recording. Hey guys, it's Jonathan, and today I'm going to talk to you about a really good book that I read about a year ago called Eat to Beat Depression by Dr. Drew Ramsey. And it's a really good book that, man, this is perhaps the best book that I've ever read on mental health. The only other book that I read that's I would say is as good as this one is The Depression Cure by Dr. Stephen Olardi, which also talks about natural ways to, boost your mood and just help fight depression, anxiety, and really just have more mental health, better mental health in general. So, Eat to Beat Depression, it's written by this psychologist called Dr. Drew Ramsey. Dr. Drew Ramsey is something called a nutritional psychologist, or I'm sorry, psychiatrist. And that's not a word, not a title that you're going to hear very often, but it's kind of a newer field, and the it's the field of psychiatry looking at the brain from a very nutritional standpoint. And by the way, this book is not meant to replace therapy. It's not meant to replace antidepressant drugs. In fact, Dr. Stephen Olardi at his clinic, he actually does use antidepressant drugs, but in conjunction with that, he also looks at the person's lifestyle. He looks at their diet because I don't think a lot of people understand this, but your brain is made up of everything that you eat. Every cell in your brain and body is made up of the foods that you eat. Let's be logical here. If you consume foods that is, loaded with sugar and trans fats and just these terrible things, artificial sweeteners and artificial chemicals, doesn't it make sense that your brain would be affected by that? And if you consume whole foods and just these power foods, these superfoods, and you put that into your brain, doesn't it make sense that you might have more energy, that you might be happier, and that your brain could function better? And yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me. I don't know about you. So, let me tell you about the book. So, the first part of the book goes over the different brain nutrients. I can't remember how many powerful brain nutrients he lists for your brain. I think it's about 20 something nutrients, but he goes over 5 or 6 food groups that are just loaded with antidepressant nutrients that just nourishes your brain and optimizes the production of serotonin and taking care of your gut. Your gut health is so important, and he talks a lot about that in the book. And your gut actually communicates to your brain via the microbiome. And there's just studies and research that shows that if you have a bad gut, that you tend to have worse mental health. And there's research that shows that people that are depressed have gut problems. So anyway, so this book, man, let me tell you, this book, it's so easy to follow. It's not a fad diet. It's not like all the garbage that you see out there nowadays, and everything in there is proven. He works with, some of the top nutritional scientists on earth, and just he he puts his book where his mouth is, and he proves every point. He talks about the benefits of leafy greens, loaded with nutrition, the benefits of kefir and probiotics, and just boosting your gut health, the microbiome. So the book is a 6-week plan, and I know it can often be overwhelming when you start a new diet, and you have to overhaul your whole diet, and you try to stick to it, and you go from eating a 100% unhealthy diet to a 100% healthy diet, and you go through the sugar withdrawals and all that. But with this book, you don't have to worry about that. In the 6-week plan, you just focus on one small dietary change per week that compounded eventually changes your whole diet, but it makes it fun rather than just, failing on your diet. You're making progress, you're making improvements. So, for example, like the first week of this program, not even a program, just good lifestyle changes, good diet changes. The first week, you're going to focus on, getting some more leafy greens into your diet. Just a handful of leafy greens or two per day. And then you add that every day. And then the next week, you're going to add in maybe some fish, some sardines, maybe a can of sardines per day. And then you start to maybe add some eggs, and then you start to add in some bright, colorful vegetables. And man, let me tell you, the recipes in this book are delicious. So with each week, each phase of the program, he gives you recipes to incorporate these new foods into your diet. And the recipes, most of them, they're cheap, they're inexpensive, they're very easy to find, and they're pretty easy to make, and they're so good. Like, there's a peanut butter cup smoothie to replace a milkshake. There's like eggs and leafy greens and fish and all those brain nutrients into one meal. And you get in some whole grains as well. And it basically, this diet is a Mediterranean style diet. So the Mediterranean style diet has been rated the healthiest diet in the world. Time after time, it has been rated the healthiest diet in the world. And by the way, the diet that is good for your mental health, depression, anxiety, not only is it good for mental health and your brain, but it's good for longevity. It's good for increasing your energy levels. It's good for improving focus. So I just encourage you guys, if you're struggling with mental health conditions, I encourage you to check out this book and just give it a shot. And at the very least, you will boost your energy. At least you will start to feel better, adding in these power foods into your diet. And yeah, that's it for now. So, and also, if you want to read my blog post and read my review, then check out my Medium blog post in the link below. And if you try out this diet and you buy it, then let me know in the comments below how it's working out for you. Let me know what your favorite recipe is in the book, because let me tell you, it's absolutely delicious. And stay tuned for some more holistic tips for improving depression and anxiety, and just power foods that's really good for your mental health and brain. And that's it for now. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Goodbye.